Pro Eliminator. So here we go, Barry Mosier. Thanks to Bill Larson for helping out here today with the announcing chores. Hey, Ron, you're right back here, buddy. Here we go.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got the troops charged up with the A-Plan.
Yeah,
They're leading
no
the hit
doubt.
parade
Yeah,
unofficially. Shorty Raider, Beach
They're
Bend
ready.
Raceway Park, brand new pipe to sit in. Going to flex the molly and try to go till they get the wally. Raider, 463.
523 for Barry Mosier, and 92 Camaro. Running for Wagler Motorsports Park.
Oh, the sun is setting, Nick. The temperature's dropping. You got to just chase your car.
Yeah, no doubt about it. On the top end, you got the winner.
Shorty Raider is 13 on the tree, 2 over the dial, and he just snuck around there and takes the win for Beach Bend.
2 over the dial, 25 on a 23 for Mosier, but a little off the start, and it's going to be, as Ron told you, Raider looking tough.
James Monroe, another tough hombre with a 552 dial running for the host track Lucas Oil Raceway. Racecraft chassis dragster.
And Adam Phillips with that 641 dial Mustang. Talked about that car, built it over the winter. Used to be behind the wheel of the digger. Runs for Crossroads Dragway, 641 the dial Chevrolet side.
So he had the motor behind, now he's got the motor ahead.
Down boys, a pretty car. No doubt. Here he goes. Scoots out there. Here comes Killer Monroe.
Monroe on the jets down there taking the win, going 1 over the dial, 009 on the tree, and that was, Adam did all he could, Nick.
No doubt goes 4 thou under the dial on the breakout at 105 miles per hour.
Bryce Hunt running for Lucas Oil Raceway, the Hunt and Son Memorial Truck. Matt Hunt, the crew man. Brownsburg, Indiana's the town. 554 is the dial.
Great race team over there, Matt and Bryce and the whole crew, Lori. As Angelo Belosi stages up, see what he can do with Bryce at 628 the dial. 67 Nova running for Worldwide Technology Raceway at the Gateway.
We got a couple racers going to be late for the Lucas Oil team dinner. Suite 2 at the Oval, 7:30. But Bryce says, hey, I got a work to do here.
Yes, he does. And he's going to Oh, my.
Mercy.
Bryce had him off the line. Wow. The winner here, dead on 5. That's what it's going to take, but the breakout too quick for Bryce.
Well, Bryce Hunt, he had 200s in the bank, breaks out by 4 thou, and I'll tell you, you got to make quick decisions, Nick. Wesley Wells, yep, Lucas Oil, another one going to be late for the dinner. Wesley Wells in the dragster, the Ray Skillman Auto Group dragster running the Ray Skillman lane, 505.
And Russ Fisher Jr., 569 the dial for Wagler Motorsports Park here in the Chevrolet lane. He's out of Terre Haute, Indiana, that 92 Lumina.
You're probably familiar with Russ. He's probably stopped by Crossroads Dragway.
A lot, yeah. That's why I almost missed that one.
You got the
On
win.
the top end, it's going to be a 570 on a 69 for Fisher at 119 miles per hour. You've got 2 under there for Wells. Boy, that was a big win now for Fisher.
Yes, it was. Wesley goes 2 over the dial. He had the tree, and Russ Fisher just stole his stake right off his paper plate.
He sure did.
Steve Barno up next, Monte Carlo dialing 6. He'll throw a quarter down there and stick it on the scoreboard, and he's running for Ohio Valley.
509 the dial here for Derek Adams, Franklin, Kentucky, the hometown. Beach Bend Raceway Park, the home track. He's up in the Chevrolet lane.
Well, I'll tell you what, fast decisions have to be made down there in the dump zone, the decision zone, or the crush zone. Boy, these racers have been bringing it, Nick.
Pretty close here off the starting line. This ought to be a good one here. Top being charged, oh my. It was a 23 start for Barno, 30 start here for Adams, but Adams hangs on. He'll go 511 on the 09 at 130, and 3-3 over there on the 25 for your guy at 106.
Yeah, Stephen Barno loses the 5 margin of victory race there as Kevin Hunter rolls in with a 6:31 dial, running for Wagler Motorsports Park.
And Michael Franklin out of Burbank, Illinois, in that 1968, I'm going to call it Torino. It says Fairlane, but it's a Route 66 player. That bit of what exactly what they
Well, I'll tell you what, you do not see many of those out on the highway, but you're going to see this one tomorrow.
Yep. 7:18 on the 15 for the win. Had the light by a pretty good margin, and he goes to third round.
Yep, Hunter goes down that round going 4 over the dial. Nick Fields, he's checking out the minefield out there. He'll dial 642 in the Vega for Crossroads. Why don't you take that side? Go ahead and do
Nick
the other.
Fields awfully tough here out of Vincennes, Indiana. Scott Hessler out of Columbus, Ohio, his 69 Camaro, running for National Trail Raceway. So, two tough customers. Fields leads. Looks good. Oh, boy, we got a race here. My, oh, my, the lights are incredible.
Oh, the boxing gloves are on down there. You got the winner, Nick.
Oh, yeah. How about Fields? He hangs tough as he'll go 43 on a 42, 15 off the start. Scott was up for the task. He'll go 12 off the tree, better by 3, but off by 3 on the dial. 522 to 130.
This is just a cruel game to play here. Dennis Pearson up next, Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. Got the Camaro, bringing it to the house with a 687 dial left side.
And Andrew Waddle, Pickerington, Ohio, the 69 Camaro down in at 592, running for National Trail Raceway.
Ah, yes. Let the games begin. Here comes Andrew pedaling hard. Can he get there, Nick?
Well, I don't think so, because that 009 was stout. 009 was stout as he'll go 593 on the 92. Look at your guy closer to the dial there, 688 at 87. 2,000s, the margin of victory there.
Yep.
At
Both.
the stripe.
Yeah, both of them won over that dial. Dennis Pearson threw everything at it but the kitchen sink, and it just did not work out. But Andrew Waddle says, National Trail, catch this point.
Yep.
Torrey Trench, I noticed, Nick, longer burnouts tonight as the temperature cools down. We got to get the proper heat in the rear tires on that one-way runway. Torrey running for Route 66, and 479's the plan.
And Josh Netherton out of Noblesville, Indiana, 2002 Mustang, as he moves up to stage, down in at 570.
Oh, I just love these top bulb crushers, don't you?
We are getting some good stuff. Oh, boy.
Oh,
We got the win.
Yep, Torrey Trench was behind 3,000 on the tree, runs 481. That's 2 over the dial. He let Josh Netherton take the stripe down there, and Josh just didn't get that to work out.
Yeah, he just rubbed that just a little bit because he was on a breakout run too. But 569 with a 5,000 under. Had a great 19 light. He was 3 better off the tree.
Yep.
But 119 miles per hour and out here for Netherton.
Oh, mercy. Josh should have ate another cheeseburger. He'd have been dead on the dial, wouldn't he? So we're going to hold him up here for just a second. As Colin Richardson and Philip Fleming patiently wait here, as we got the reds flashing on the tree, that means whoa. So Lucas Oil Raceway's Colin Richardson will occupy the Ray Skillman lane when we get back to action. Okay, everybody, reach into your pocket and give us a call up here in the tower. Oops, I don't have my cell phone, but we do up here in the tower, Nick. And you know what? Those are the lifeline for human beings anymore. And if you missed your cell phone, it's not where you thought you put it. It's got a camo color on it. Nick Agresta?
I'm looking at that thing, and it looks like something foreign to me since I still have a flip phone. I don't know. You'd have to identify this baby because this is a strange one to me, Ron.
Yep, and I bet somebody would like to have that back because communications is important in this world today.
Well, I guess it is. Everybody's got one. My gosh. So, yeah, if you've misplaced your cell phone and you can identify it, come and see Ron and myself up here on the timing deck, announcer's booth. We'll be glad to hand it back to you.
Well, you know what? These are just about as important. Remember when you'd lose your wallet and that was the worst thing you could lose? Well, now it's the cell phone and all the information that's inside of this, and maybe some racing information in here for the team.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Can't imagine, Ron. So, yeah, we've got your cell phone. If you've got it, it's looking for you, too.
You bet. We need to reunite this phone with its owner as Colin Richardson fires him up. We're putting the water down. You know what? We're watering that payment right now. We're growing race cars. How about that?
There you go. Philip Fleming out of Jenkins, Kentucky. In the Phil's Repair Sales entry, running for Kentucky Dragway here, Chevrolet side, $649 the dial.
Oh, my nice white first-gen Camaro. That car is owned by Henry Von DeVord, running for Lucas Oil Raceway. Colin Richardson, well, he's the guy in the saddle with a 661 dial. He'll take the Ray Skillman lane. And you know what? Unfortunately, Nick, we got to send two of them down, but somebody gets an invitation and somebody's like, oh, darn, but you got the second chance race
That's
tomorrow.
Right. That's right. All you got to do is, you hate to think about going out, but if you do, and that taste is not good in your mouth, well, you got a chance to make it sweeter by signing up for the second chance race, just like Fleming did here, minus 002 off the start, 47 under the 49 down at 104.
Well, sometimes, Nick, all you got to do is have the green light. Doesn't matter what you run down at the top end. Richardson advances, 662 off the 661. And, well, we're going to light some bottle rockets here. It's not the 4th of July, but it is to these racers.
Yeah, Josh Rogers out of Reelsville, Indiana, runs for Crossroads Dragway. He's down in at 545 Chevrolet side.
And John Bowes, the tough racer out of Summit Motorsports Park. I see he turns on a lot of wind lights when he goes bracket racing up there. He'll dial a 482. Just He is very, very cool at it. Okay, we're just talking about the track managers, competitors in the final. Carson's been busy up here talking on the mic, and he's down racing. And Nick Agresta, he's young. He keeps it going.
Oh, yeah, and man, he knows that terminology. It's fun to listen to him and watch him.
Yep.
He's got national. Here we go.
Oh, look at that. Dragster's a pair. Here we go. One's going to the next round. It's John Bowes. One over the dial, 12 on the tree, and takes the stripe in the win by 28 thousandths. Nick, this sport is so cruel.
Yep, it can be, no doubt about it. Especially when you think you got a good run. Normally could be a winner, but out here for Josh Rogers.
All right, Byron Dragways. Mitchell Vincent going to try to carry the flag this pair in the Ray Skillman lane, dialing a quick 480. You've got to trust your race car on this spread.
And Brianna Gottman, boy, big disparity here on the dial-ins. 659 Chevrolet side, 87 Conquest, running for Wagler Motorsports Park.
Well, Brianna Gottman's going to get close to that finish line, and she's going to feel like there's an F-16 going down the runway as Mitchell will be flying by. Ooh, here comes the Rocket Ship Express.
Yep.
Ah.
The stripe. Got it.
Yep, Mitchell Vincent, 2 over the dial. Womp Womp takes the win by 052 from Brianna Gottman.
And Gottman, I think, thinking, well, I hope he'll break out on me. She'll go 665 on the 59 at 101.
Jim Halverstadt, another racer that has got a few trophies on the mantle to keep polished up, running for Edgewater Sports Park. A diamond chassis with a big block, 464 is the dial.
And the 598 cubic inch engine here for the Killcare Dragway. A racer, that's Rob Stacy, 493 the dial here, Chevrolet side.
Well, Jim Halverstadt, he's got the only winged dragster in this pair. It's a good place to set your coffee cup when you're changing oil in your race car. Or you can hang your jacket on there or whatever. Some racers say, oh, that's just extra stuff to polish on the car. We don't need a wing.
Well, two different approaches, no doubt,
Yep.
for Stacy and Halverstadt, but here we go. They're pre-staged, and they're going to bump them on in here.
Oh, Jim taking their time down there. Jim's done this for a while. He knows what the timer's set on. There we go. Oh, you got the light.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh,
Look
no.
at that. We saw this a lot. 007 off the start by Stacy, but he breaks out by 0.004 of a second.
Well, Halverstadt goes dead 5 for a 29 pack and sends Rob Stacy packing. Jim Halverstadt, well, he gets to go into round 3.
Yeah, your guy dead on. Wow.
Man. Tommy Barbero trying to mark one up for Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. That's a small block Chevrolet with a lot of heart, dialing 526.
And Lucas Oil Raceway sends us Nathan Smith out of Brazil, Indiana, 524 the dial on the undercover chassis entry.
I just love these. I know I've mentioned this before. Dialing tight, you're in the driver's seat, and if you treat your opponent, you've got a pretty good idea, and that'll help you maybe drive that finish line.
Well, like I say, I'll never see the handicap here. It's going to look like a ditto dial to me.
You bet, like a Pro Tree and Top
No
Fuel.
doubt. Here we go.
Oh boy.
Couple great lights.
Let the games begin.
See what happens here. Breakout too quick your side. How about a dead on 9? 15 off the start for a 24 package here for Nathan Smith at 129 miles per hour.
Well, Tommy's racetrack was about 2 feet too short. He breaks out by 0.002 of a second. As Tony Virgilio, this young man, I know him pretty well, and I think you do too. He was runner-up in a lot of finals for a lot of races, and he's a tough racer running that Oakley Motorsports power plant, dialing 480.
And Dale Cooter 550 the dial here out of Valparaiso, Indiana. Iron Drag Racing. Here we go, Tony awfully tough off the start. Boy, we are
Wow.
almost identical off the reaction time.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this. Cooter, he'll go 559, or I should say 550 with a 9 on a 550 dial, dead on 9 for a 28 package and the win.
Well, I'll tell you what, both of them burnt the tree down up here on this side of the racetrack as Virgilio loses a tight one over the dial, 62 10,000ths. Tony's day is done.
Yeah, that's a head checker, no doubt.
Yep.
Here's Dave Ansel, Morris, Illinois, the hometown. Route 66, the home track, and look at him down there waving that flag. 541 the dial, Chevrolet side.
Edgewater Sports Park sends Carl Allen to the battleground with the American Chassis Dragster, and they'll plug in a 480 in the Ray Skillman lane. So I'll tell you, the Summit Racing Equipment Division III ET Finals, this has been some outstanding racing here today.
Yeah, and as we said, if you go out first before the second round, you have a chance to go race tomorrow. Simply head to the registration table, $50 entry fee, and you can keep going.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dave had the light, Carl's got the win light. Carl kept it on top of the hill, one over the dial for the win. I thought Dave was going to advance, Nick.
Yeah, with a starting line reaction, looked like he could do it, but too much stripe there, 539 on his 541 at 125.
Well, we still have this cell phone up here in the tower, so if you are missing a cell phone, please come up to the second floor Parks Tower and pick it up. Maybe one of the race car drivers out there that's still in line has got to wait.
It's the scariest cell phone I've ever seen, I'm telling you.
I got Corey Butler's S10 running for Coles County Dragway, 641 dial.
Lucas Oil Raceway here at Indianapolis for Anthony Smith out of Avon, Indiana. And have a very far drive to go home tonight. Dragster dial in at 488 Chevrolet side.
Oh, the button's let go from one side, and
Oh boy.
yep, Corey Butler's got the only green apple on the branch over there, as Butler goes one over the dial, 13 on the tree, and takes the win.
489 on the 88 goes minus double. Oh, 5 to the red side of that filament.
Scott Sattler, the Miller Chassis Dragster out of Salina, Ohio, National Trail Raceway, and they'll plug a 496 down on the card table.
And Doug Herman out of Decatur, Illinois, 607 the dial, Chevrolet side. At 70 Nova, running for Coles County Dragway.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nick, these drivers are leaning on that tree like a palm tree that's going through a hurricane. They're not breaking it, but they're bending it pretty good.
Well, they sure are. We've had a lot of great lights here and a lot of good side-by-side lights. So Herman, taking the time there, here we go.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Somebody left on time, and boy, they got the win. They go one over the dial. That's trust in your race car. Scott was 002 on the tree, one over the dial for the win, and unfortunately, Doug just missed the tree.
Yeah, I sure did. Steve Pearson, St. Charles, Missouri, 77 Vega for Worldwide Technology Raceway at the Gateway.
Yep.
Dial in at 655. Chevrolet side.
You know what? We're getting so much practice at this, it ought to be second nature. We can take this little cheat sheet we got up here. Danny Waddle, the beautiful American chassis dragster, the big block Chevrolet, running for National Trail. Going to try to take the 486, put it down there, and he's going to try to take it back on his time slip.
So classic confrontation here. The door slammer up against the digger. This should be a good one at the stripe. Both guys very careful to stage. You know, things happen a little differently when the sun goes down.
Oh, it does.
Seeing that light a little brighter. No doubt.
Yeah.
Pretty close off the starting line, just about 5 separate them. Let's see what happens.
Oh, Danny Waddle. You bet. Danny was 5 thou ahead on the tree, goes dead on with a 9. Great job there. And I'll tell you what, Steve Pearson did a great job over there, but it just didn't happen for him.
Yeah, 658 on his 55 to 104.
Wow, your guy punished those tires on the burnout. Wayne Baker over here in the dragster, meanwhile, backing up from that burnout, running for Summit Motorsports Park, 533.
6 flat to dial here for Jamie Dunaway. Out of Cincinnati, Ohio, Edgewater Sports Park, the home track, 6 flat to dial.
All right, we need bikes east side to lane 11 and 12. All bikes on the east side need you to lane 11 and 12. Yes. All right, and I need the track managers back to lane 7 and 8 west side. I need high school to lane 13 and 14 east side. And I need, that'll take care of them right there. We'll go over it again. Meanwhile, Wayne Baker and Dunaway in a race.
Oh, look at that. Can you believe those numbers? Big time lead by Baker, but the win light here to Dunaway. And he'll go 6 flat 1, 6 flat with a 1 to seal the victory at 113 miles per hour. 7,000th the margin of victory.
All right, motorcycles. We need all motorcycles to the east side, lane 11 and 12. Track managers, west side to lane 7 and 8. High school needs you on the east side, lane 13 and 14. Come on down. Here we go.
Good job, Ron, reading that baby in the dark.
I'll tell you what, Jim Taylor coming up with the 72 Vega. Route 66 Raceway, boy, they've been marking them up. 593, who you got?
That's Leah Blake, Fairfield, Ohio, running for Edgewater Sports Park. Big wheels up, start 5:59 the Dow. Here we go. Top end, only 8 separate them at the starting line, and it's going to be Leah Blake for the win. Dead on 4, 5:59, 4 on a 5:59. Look at your guy, 94 and a 93. 6,000 separate those two.
Oh boy, I can just picture in my mind they're both down there like wrestling over that W for the time slip. I got Jake Orman running for Wagler Motorsports Park. Terre Haute, Indiana is the hometown. 493 is the plan. And oh boy, look who he's got next door.
Yeah, Ray Boyer, Logan Sport, Indiana. The Lucas Oil Raceway at Indianapolis entry. The Boyer family race team down in at 616. that 79 Z28 car, Chevrolet side.
So that's Jake and Rhonda Orman's 92 victory. Dragster. We had a fly. We've done it. All right, wind light for Ray Boyer. 1 over the dial as Jake Orman goes cruising down her. 3 over the dial. Boyer took the stripe, 25 thou. Margin of victory.
Well, guys, we've been told that there's some air horns going off out there just about the time our drivers are leaving the line. Now, when they're concentrating so hard, sometimes anything will maybe, well, shake them up, you might say. Don't do that. Please refrain from blowing those horns at the instant the cars are leaving the line. Now, after the run's over and maybe you want to do that, that's okay. But please try to refrain from blowing those air horns just as they leave the line.
We got Chrissy Robbins out of Edgewater Sports Park as a Super Pro continues on. 484 dial for Chrissy.
And Eric Grace, here, heading down track out of Brooklyn, Wisconsin, running for Byron. But you're going to have the win there, buddy.
Oh, Edgewater's a big advantage on the reaction time as Chrissy let go of the button on time, goes 4 over the dial and picks the win from Eric Grace. So the only way I'm going to get to see my favorite Corvette tomorrow is if they sign up for the second chance race.
Yeah, you know, normally on this day, and if you were out, then you're done. You don't have to be done. You can get over to the registration table, $50, and you get back in the second chance race tomorrow. That'll be going on tomorrow, so make sure you take advantage of that. Here we go. Rick Weaver off the running on the top end for Summit Motorsports Park. He's going to get the win. 583 dead on 2 for a 10-pack run.
Nice run.
And the win, no doubt.
Baker was 011 on the tree, goes 2 over the dial, gets down there. Baker probably cut old Nick Reber loose, and Nick took that W. I got Adam Hughes, the Cutlass, going to try to cut down the nets down there for Coles County Dragway, dialing that 608. Got an interesting Olds big block under the hood.
And Greg McCurry out of South Lyon, Michigan, the 84 Camaro. He was a Race of Champions competitor for Milan Dragway down in at 640 Chevrolet side.
Very quickly, we need bikes, all bikes on the east side, 11 and 12. Track managers need you on the west side, 7 and 8. High school need you on the east side, 13 and 14.
That 005 light, too tough to overcome there. 643 on a 40 dial, 104 miles per hour.
Well, I'll tell you what, Adam ran closer to the dial, but, you know, Greg McCurry, he just annihilates the tree. As you mentioned, that great light. Boy, reaction times sure help, Nick.
No doubt. That's what it's all about. That's where you can start the win process.
Here comes Byron Dragway with that Sonoma pickup truck as Daryl Vincent's sitting in the driver's seat with a 667 dial left side.
So Rod Schaefer, Trenton, Illinois, 498 to dial, Chevrolet side. Worldwide Technology Raceway entry.
Oh. Well.
Red light start.
Yep.
Automatic winner over here to Schaefer. Doesn't matter what happens now, he's a winner. 516 to 135 to 664 to 102.
Yep, Worldwide Technology.
Hey gang, we want to remind you, if you're getting in the second chance race, you'll be first up in the morning. You'll be the first thing down track, and there won't be any time pass now. You just got to be ready to rock and roll as we'll get that race started first thing. It'll be first out of the box tomorrow. So that might help you if you're starting to travel a little bit or something. See how you do. Get into the race. You may be a winner tomorrow.
Well, we've all had plenty of time runs down the racetrack, so we're going to bring them up first thing out of the box, the second chance racers, and away you go. Justin Lothar, Pacemakers, 646 dial.
Yeah, no doubt these guys and gals out there, cream of the crop, they can dial those cars no problem. And George Buckhalter out of Fairborn, Ohio, the undercover chassis car, 517 to dial, Chevrolet side running for Killcare Dragway.
Well, Justin Lothar's going to check out the timeout time, and I hope he's figuring it right out there with his stopwatch. Here comes George, looking for the Camaro. Going to ambush it, did he?
Oh, no.
Oh, Justin.
Under by 5 thousandths, Ron.
You know, George gets down there and he says, quick decision, I'm going to take the stripe. Oops. Broke out, didn't he, by 5 thou, and Justin says, okay, let's go to the next round. Ryan Pickens out of Elyria, Ohio, Summit Motorsports Park, sending the 492 dialed car down the Ray Skillman lane.
In the 542 dialed entry, Chevrolet side for Brent Engels. Hillsboro, Ohio, the hometown. Beautiful, slick, 1962 Chevy Biscayne, 555 cubic inches, running for Killcare Dragway.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Ohio's got some of the coolest city names. How about Pataskala, Elyria? You really got to stop and think before you speak. Okay. Okay. Unless they move Horse Cave. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of cities we've seen today that's in several states. Of course, Springfield, we don't want to go there. You probably know.
So that classic
Earlville.
confrontation here between Pickens and Engels. Here we go. They're off.
Oh, they know how to do this, don't they,
Couple of
Nick?
great lights. Oh, yeah, they're up to the task, no doubt, but you got the winner.
Well, Ryan Pickens just picked Brett Engels' pocket as he goes dead six for a 27 pack and turns away Brent Engels. Brent was 1 over the dial. You call the margin of victory, Nick.
Yeah, 7 thousandths of a second down there. And boy, Pickens was behind at the start. But hey, it ain't over till it's over, as we've been saying.
You bet. 660 feet. We got to run them from one side to the other. Tim Buckley, and now there's a tough customer running for Milan Dragway, the 474 dial on the west side.
And the guy that's been with this Camaro to Pomona, this is Chad Isley, 612 the dial for Coles County Dragway. Except Chevrolet side, he's gone.
Well, both of them have been to Pomona over the various course of time. This time, Tim Buckley goes dead 5, and Tim Buckley just smashed Chad's fingers in the door down there. That's not nice at all.
Well, we could see that down there, and it looked like he let him go at the other end, but dead on 5. That's tough to beat.
You bet it is. Matt Robbins, the American Chassis Dragster, going to line up for the Ray Skillman side of the world with a 477 dial for Edgewater Sports Park.
And Beach Bend Raceway Park sends us Camaro Costello out of Evansville, Indiana. The 80 Camaro, 596 the dial, Chevrolet side.
Well, as I always say, Nick, the farther that you go in eliminations, the terrain gets rougher and the hill gets steeper.
Well, no doubt, and I'll tell you what, when the evening sun's gone down, it gets darker out there, too.
You bet.
We've got this tinted windows. Here we go. Somebody with a touch of the bank. Let's see how that parlays with the big end.
Well, Matt Robbins on the fly down there goes 2 over the dial, holding 2 out of the Christmas tree, squeezed the tree a little tighter, and, well, Camaro Costello was at the mercy of that reaction time, Nick.
Love that name, Camaro Costello.
Oh, I do too. Yep. All right, Cameron Morris up next with the S10 pickup truck, running that small block, and he'll torque that engine down to a 686 for Ohio Valley Raceway.
And Carl Kyle stages up with a 481 out of Ferrisburg, Ohio, the Summit Motorsports Park entry here in the Chevrolet lane.
Well, you think they're texting each other where we're going to have supper tonight? I don't know. Now
we're
we're
just bumping in nice and easy. Here we go.
Oh,
We're jumping up and down. Check out the crew there. Summit Motorsports Park. Just driving as Carl Kyle wins this one 480 at 1.2 under 7 on the dial, but that's okay because the red lights start by minus double 01.
Oh, you just feel for the racers. You know, that's a razor thin difference between cutting a perfect light on the green side and, well, putting your own stop sign up. Megan McManus up next, the BoneyardGear.com sponsored dragster. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to flip sides. I'll take Rick Watson because you know Megan pretty well.
Yeah, Megan, she does the Friday night announcing over at Crossroads Dragway. Great gal. She's a shop teacher, and she loves to drive this dragster, the Daddy's Girl Racing entry. It's a Williams chassis, small block, 358 cubic inch Chevrolet for power. Megan down in at 603.
Well, Nick Agresta, that's big shoes to fill as you've been the announcer over there for a long time, and Megan's stepping up to the plate.
Well, she's doing a great job. She really is a fine announcer, and once again, just like Carson, she knows the car. She's a racer.
This is an uh-oh race, and we'll tell you in a minute. Okay, you take this one, Nick.
Yeah, because Rick Watson, big time lead off the starting line, wins this one at a 6:58 dead on. A 6:58 and a 6:08 and a 6:03. Oh my.
I'm going to say Rick Watson just pays attention to his lane, does his duty, and lets the chips fall where they may. But you talk about cutting it close, dead on with an egg.
Oh, no
Megan
doubt.
was dead in the water at the start, run 6:08, but oh my goodness, that could have went the other way.
It
Nick.
sure could have very easily.
David Cox up next for Killcare Dragway, the McIlvain chassis dragster with a 509 dial, left side.
How about that David Hollywood Baker at Newark, Ohio? 71 he's already on the plane. 687 down here from Baker.
Well, the dragster let go of the button a little quicker and secures the win, one over the dial, as David Hollywood Baker is going to have to get in line for the second chance race, Nick.
No doubt there. As he'll go 688 on the 87 at 102.
All right, the backing up process getting underway. You know, you mentioned the darkness, and as those drivers, a lot of them, they don't have people out in front of the car to back them up, and they've got to try to find that spot where they laid that fresh rubber down, as Andrew Saxton doing that with a 490 dial.
And Tim Lauterbach out of Xenia, Ohio, the Killcare Dragway entry, 501 the dial here in the Chevrolet lane. And you know, I can't remember whose dragster it is, but he's got headlights on the front of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool looking.
Oh,
it's
it
cool.
is. Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, a little bit of a late burnout for Tim Lauterbach, as Andrew's been sitting up there for just a little bit for Route 66 Raceway. Tim Lauterbach, he's a veteran racer, and you know, we've all said his name many times here over the course of time, always qualifying for one team or another here at the Summit Division III ET Finals.
Well, I will say one thing. Route 66 got the flag, and they have not stopped waving that thing.
They like that flag.
They are after it.
You
I'm
bet.
telling you.
Yeah, they like Summit.
My arm would have fallen off by now.
You know what? I don't think they care. As long as they keep that flag in their possession, I think they'll just keep rotating people in and out to be the flag bearers.
Yeah, that's what Bill said he was going to do. Here we go.
There's something.
So Rick Needham Jr. out of Cincinnati, Ohio, the Spitzer chassis entry, He'll dial 502 Chevrolet sign for the Edgewater Sports Booth.
All right, there goes Jay Allen into the next round as he didn't have to work very long at turning on the win light there. He dialed 5 flat, goes 501, taking care of business for Route 66. Boy, we've been saying that a lot, Dennis. Yep. Hunter Derrick, the S10 pick-em-up truck running for Pacemakers. He'll settle in. He's got that left side reserved. He's handed in his reserve spot there with a 694.
And Austin Grimes out of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, the 95 Mustang. Ohio Valley Raceway, the home track, 6:45 the dial.